to another episode of Rock the Boat TV. We've got Ricky here. Obviously, we've got a couple new guests. Do you want to introduce yourselves?
Mr. Controversial, Dampy. Big Dampy.
Nice. This Nathan, aka Smack. You may hear that quite a few times by my host, Mr. Lerone, but we don't need to talk about that. But it's just Nathan. Smack comes from more of a graffiti element. So yeah, I'm a tagger, used to be. So for my graffiti artists out there, I'm representing Rock the Boat.
My man. And we've got Khalid here. He'll be here in a bit soon as well. And on the visuals, we've got Major.
Don't know.
You get me? So boy, let's just start it off though. So let's start off with the World Cup.
Yeah.
Obviously, England played yesterday. They've gone home. They've gone home.
He said World Cup. He didn't say a team. He said World Cup. So where we starting? You already started at England. It's coming home. Yeah, okay. So go there. Go there. You didn't even give me the chance to say, look, Niger boy.
You're proud. You're proud.
Yeah, I am.
But you know what? I'm happy to see the African teams in the World Cup. Like, I'm happy to see that. One thing I would definitely say about this year is that the teams seem more diverse. Maybe it's me, but I've been looking, and this is the first time I'm like, right, blackheads are everywhere.
Yeah.
I swear they got one in the Russian team.
Yeah. Brazil,
Yeah.
France.
Like, you know,
France, especially with the France team. The France team is a little bit, for me.
I mean, France is because they got mainly a lot of Africans.
That's
there, yeah. But Brazil is, Brazil's always had black kids, but Brazil's actually the second largest country with black people in there, apart from Africa. So they were always going to have that. But I was just surprised to see the Russia's got one, and I still feel that we need a few more on England. But you know what I mean, we're looking good though.
But yesterday that was a good match.
Yeah.
They went for the semi-finals now.
Yeah.
Boy, you know what? It could be coming home. You know.
Yeah, but you know what though? Let's be real. I was speaking to some guys the other day, and they were talking about the Colombia game. Like, yeah, we won it, no problem. I was like, bro, we were watching a different game. You lot won that through the skin of your teeth.
Do you know what it is though? We dominate teams. You know, I'm an Arsenal fan, so it's like watching Arsenal. Don't know. It's like watching Arsenal, where you can dominate a whole game and still come out with a draw or a loss. You know what I mean? But if we can somehow just put these chances, convert these chances into goals. Like Sterling, I think should be dropped. I know this is totally different.
No, speak it, man. Speak it, man.
I think he should be dropped, man. Because he's not. Put Rashford in there. Rashford's young, hungry. He's not on 300 grand a week. You know, like that. I think he's more hungry for it. He will put these chances away. All these chances that Sterling's had from the first game.
So you know what? Excuse my ignorance here, because I'm not a football head. I just hop in every now and then.
Yeah.
Sterling's the black dude, yeah.
Yeah, the little one.
The one with the tattoo on his leg.
But you know what? I'll be truthful. I don't think in the time I've been on this planet that I've seen a black football player that is really dominated in World Cup football for England. I've seen players here that played. I haven't seen someone that's been like, oh my days, even the racist dudes are going like, got rated, mate. He puts the goals away. We haven't had that yet. It's like, I don't know why. It's like, we had Barnes in the 80s, Ian Wright.
Ian Wright didn't even really dominate.
That's what I'm saying, they haven't done that throughout the history. It's like, I'm waiting for that dude that comes on, and it's like I said, even the most racist English guy is like, yeah, I can't say nothing about him. He saved us, he put us on the map. We play, and we just don't have that thing there. So, but I suppose this year it's good that you've got more black players now that at least they're trying to push you there to get in that position. You know what I mean? But I want to see that like an English black Zidane, where as soon as he gets the ball, it's going in. Like I don't know.
Boy.
Even with the
Rashford could in the future. Rashford could be that pivotal black player for
England.
I think. He's going in the right direction, 100%.
I hope so, because I want to see it. Because really, think about it, look, in terms of how long we've been here, like my godfather, Cyril Regis, he just passed away the other day, so he was like, he was the originator of black players. He was the original when they were saying it openly, like, what, you can't head that, you're black, do you know what I mean? So, from his point of the late 70s, to now, I'm like, right, that's a long time. and we still haven't got that player. In the Premier League, yeah, we're brilliant, but when it comes to the England thing, we haven't got that. But then, you know, I can't. At the same time, maybe I'm asking too much from them because England's had it, you know, their whole time, and they still haven't got someone that I'm like, right, bang.
We don't have world class players. That's my opinion.
That's the truth.
Yeah, we don't have.
I'm just saying
we
it
don't have a Ronaldo.
diplomatically.
We don't.
We haven't.
So
Like,
that's my issue. So like, this football politics
it's frustrating.
it's
isn't
frustrating because you know what, we got good players, but they're not world class.
Yeah.
They're not world class.
That's why we.
But is that because domestically the league is dominated by foreigners?
Foreigners. That could be a good.
But when did that happen though? Really, that happened from the 90s, isn't it?
Yeah. And
Late 90s. That's when, because that's the
and
first
it
time
progressed.
I
And
started.
over time, we have foreigners, international players who play in our league, which is the highest league well played, and everyone wants to play in this league. But at the
Yes.
same time, our English players are not. I will say they're developing because they're playing alongside other talented players. But why are they not world
Let's
class?
be real. England shouldn't be developing because you motherfuckers started the game. So you've had all the time. Like Panama just read the rules last week. That's why you won 6-1. That's why you won. No, listen, I'm just gonna be real. That's the reason
What
why.
about Trippier though? He's world class, isn't it?
Who's Trippier?
His
I
stats
would
are
say
up
world
there.
class, but I'm a Trippier fan.
Bro, he's up there, man. He's playing ball, man. He's on it.
He's a Spurs man. I gotta say it.
Half of them are
Sorry,
Spurs.
but I must put throw in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Harry
The guy who
Kane.
plays for Tottenham.
I hate him,
He's a
but
good
I would
player.
say Harry Kane's better.
Harry Maguire.
But in respect
Maguire
to black
bossing
players,
it.
And black players.
All I'm talking about is that players.
Okay.
There's no.
I'm happy they're going
What's
to show
Walker
you
saying?
their
Half-
best all the
half-
time. I
yeah.
want to see where, like I just said to you, even Dell, the most racist dude, is like, he's different though. He's not like one of the rest, right? He's
not one of them, man.
He's
He's
that
one of them.
way.
Not black.
Yeah,
He's alright. He's alright.
Yeah, do you know
We'll have him, mate. We'll take him.
Now we've all heard that all the time because you know that that's the culture. So I'm waiting for the day when it's like they put this dude on the front of the sun, and it's like, yeah, he scored all our 4 goals, and it's boy, they can't say nothing, but he puts away the shit.
But how do you feel about what was it? The public paying for extra policing at the Premier Leagues, at the Premier League.
I don't
games,
really
man?
want to pay for that, really.
No, I say let him have it, man.
Yeah, but no, what's happening?
There's not that much trouble though. You know what I mean? At football games, there's not that much trouble unless
What we
it's
talking
a
trouble?
Champions
No,
League.
they're saying
What we
because
talking trouble?
they're saying not because of the trouble, because you get more people at the games, because it's getting bigger and bigger. You need more policing to police that.
I guess this references to the Champions League game. Or was it when I saw with Liverpool getting attacked?
I think it was some. Yeah. I think yeah.
So the
they were
bus
saying-
was coming through and they just got attacked, bombarded with like, what was it? No, I don't want to say pellets, but paint pellets were thrown to the bus and stuff like that. And I heard that it was just a
Shouldn't happen, man.
it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen.
That's
at all.
why you gotta let the police be there, innit? Like,
And
Well,
then-
that-
and
the
then
money ain't
police
coming
are gonna
our
be
way
there.
either way.
The
But
police are gonna be
the
there,
people
but we're
who
getting charged for
yeah,
it.
the people who don't watch football, they're getting charged.
I'm
for it.
getting charged for it.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, why are we paying for
that's-
something like
So
that
have a
we don't
bill.
watch?
I don't.
It's all
bill to
good.
pay.
Why not put more feds on the streets so people ain't getting stabbed up and shot
For
up?
real. We'll go into that later on. To be fair,
Okay.
we'll go into that.
True that.
What about obviously I know it was a while ago, but the royal wedding. How did you guys feel about that?
Let me tell you something then. So I work in Slough. I work for Slough Borough Council, so that's quite near to Windsor.
Yeah.
So I saw behind the scenes of what was going on.
Yeah.
After the wedding, what they were doing, it was doing a clear up job. Meaning the clear up job was they were getting homeless
All the homeless people off the road, didn't it?
the 2 nights before or
Yeah.
3 nights and saying right. But the way they were doing it was not nice.
Okay.
So, for instance, this is my property, my sleeping bag, and this is me. They will take my sleeping bag and put it in storage. I have to follow my sleeping bag.
Bro.
But would you not rather sleep in storage than
No, I wouldn't.
I think
No, but the whole idea of that. But the whole idea, no, they put them
I
up.
know
They
you
put them
mean.
up in bed and breakfast hostels for the night or whatever. If your situation was that bad,
Yeah.
but because I work in Slough, I saw that firsthand.
Yeah,
So really and truly, what they did was behind the scenes. That wasn't talked about on the news.
So they're just Russian peasants.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
like
It's
smooth
literally
just that, bro.
peasants.
Just that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go.
bro.
What's it mean?
But what do you think
come
of
back
Meghan
in
Markle
2-3
though?
days.
I mean, she fine, but I remember
She fine.
but what annoys me, like.
They deeped her again, man. Come on, man. They deeped her again, and sorry to interject. They deeped her and they deeped her mum.
Yeah, why is there only one black person there? That's why I don't understand.
Regardless if it's black or not. Regardless, let's not put
Yeah.
colour. The lady was on her own.
Yeah.
I think it was because she was black though.
Yeah.
I don't think if her mum was, like her dad obviously didn't go, if her dad was black and her mum was white and her mum was there on her own, you think she would have been sitting there on her own? She would have been sitting with...
There was affluent black people there. There was Idris was there.
Yeah, but that was...
Yeah,
that
but,
was-
I know.
At the front.
I know.
She was at the front and
This
the
is
road
exactly-
standing there like...
Yeah, but that was a show.
She
that
held
was-
When you say there's
that's a
black
show
people
thing,
there,
isn't it?
there's
Listen.
black entertainment, but there's no black people in the family.
Listen, as a black person, I know our family is big, our unit is big. So you telling me that one lady who just doesn't have no sisters, no brothers,
Aunties,
no aunties,
nothing.
no uncles,
Yeah.
no cousins. The only lady that's sitting there, and we all saw the shot. The shot came out where either in a meme, Instagram, whatever you saw, she looked miserable.
Yeah.
Bless her, and that's out of order.
I mean, at the end of the day, first thing I want to say about it is, I remember everyone was, like, loads of women were texting on and going Facebook and saying, yeah, we made it. And I was thinking,
Made it?
we ain't made nothing. Like, do you know what I mean? We
Oh,
haven't
meaning
made
because
nothing.
you're a black woman's in the royal family.
But I tell you what, if it wasn't the royal family and she was just getting married to
John Bloggs.
to any other white guy, they'll be like, oh, she's mixed race, she ain't black anyway.
Listen, I mean, look, I done a little bit of homework here, and I found that number one, she's not like the first person of colour or black person to be in a royal house, married to one of the royal houses of Europe.
Okay.
Like in 2017, Prince Yoel of Ethiopia got married. He's the prince, or he's the grandson of Haile Selassie.
Okay.
So if we want to talk about royal houses, that's as royal as you can go, because if you think about it, the Bible, if I remember correctly, Egypt's one royal house they talk about in the Bible, and Ethiopia, King David and Queen of Sheba. We've all heard of Queen of Sheba. Queen of Sheba married King David. They had a family, the king, and he's a descendant from them. So if anything, technically, none of us knew about it. I had to find out about that, and then
But that's not...
obviously it's not England.
Yeah.
But if you're like, this woman's black, you can see she's black. Right, them two got married, so cool. And another person, who is it? In 2000, Prince Liechtenstein of Austria got married to Angelina Galiza Brown of Panama, actually, funny enough.
I bet she beats him up.
I mean, why would she, man? Like, she's set for life. Like, why? She wouldn't need to do that, do you know what I mean?
Nah, just be like the football team, innit? Because they were beating everybody else.
I'm sure, bro, like, look, hold on, I'll just check this out. Yeah, Liechtenstein is the smallest yet the richest country in the world per capita. So when she saw England versus Panama the other day, she probably didn't give a shit anyway. She's already won 50 World Cups all in one. She married a royal house of Europe. I'm good for life, so I don't give a shit. So I don't know, just those things. So what I'm saying is, Meghan Markle's not a new thing.
Yeah.
We've been there before. It's just new for this generation now. In my opinion, if Harry was just a ginger boy down the pub, she wouldn't have given him time of days because of your position. So fair play to him for getting her. On her, I don't know. There's a lot of I'm a bit like that with her. Like, people say, oh, she looks honest, she looks genuine. Yeah, she's an actress. That's her job.
For real.
So, and like you're saying, if you look at her mum being there, how her mum was, I just go by instincts with body language and stuff like that. Her mum didn't look too happy.
Something ain't right.
Something ain't right, exactly, yeah. Something ain't right. And the Queen, it just seems, right, this is what you got to do, and then they've just told you to go there. And then if you look at the photos, when they all take the photos at the end, like, mum's over here, Queen's over here, it seems
staged.
like, it seems staged and wrong. It don't seem like there's a full loving thing. And then on top of that, you had the Queen's cousin. She came, what's her name? Princess Michael of Kent. She came to go and meet Meghan Markle a couple of weeks before that, or a couple of days before that, and she was wearing that, we spoke about before, she's wearing that Blackamoor brooch.
Okay, yeah.
Like, they're like little small brooches, yeah, like they're worth money. But then it's like it's like a black face, and then it will usually wear like a turban or something like that. And I think historically it's supposed to. See, a lot of blacks don't know about this. A lot of people don't, but especially we don't know about this. They're supposed to be like collector's items, and they're supposed to be. It's supposed to be an insult to us in a kind of way, because it's supposed to show when we were slaves or something.
Okay.
But that's rubbish. It's rubbish, yeah, because I looked them up, yeah, and they're called black or Moor brooches, yeah, because it comes from the Moors.
Okay, yeah.
The Moors who invaded Europe, basically Portugal, Spain, and Italy, yeah, and they reigned from 711 AD to about the 15th century, just when Europe was just starting to get its Renaissance era. What they call it, Renaissance means rebirth. So, what I'm trying to say is, it can't be to depict when you lot was enslaving us, because these people were ruling before you got that chance to enslave them. Do you know what I mean? So basically, it's just you got this brooch to signify that you beat them. Some point. Yeah, at some point, because they had ownership over you. Now, I saw some other flags and stuff. There's flags in Europe, and there's statues in Europe that are putting these people all up across Europe. So you've got statues of them, you've got paintings of them, you've just got tons of things. You've got them on flags, the Corsican flag. Like, so it basically shows they defeated them at a certain point. Which means if you defeated them, at one point they were in charge.
Yeah.
So it ain't nothing to do with this slavery from the 15th century onwards. It's to do with, we beat them at one point. But that's because at one point they were running your shit. Yeah. So if this woman come to go and see Meghan Markle, she knows she's black, yeah, and she's wearing them brooches, what's that saying to you? Yeah. That's like you meeting a guy called Andy at work, and you getting all safe with him, and he told you say, can I use a toilet or something? You use his toilet, you go to find a towel, and a clan suit drops out or something like that. You're like, hold on, what are you saying?
It's funny you say that, because when I was younger, somebody I used to do athletics with and play football with, I went to his house once, and he was well off. He lived in Osterley, like obviously a white guy. Like his family were kind of rich, and they had like some staircase that kind of, it looked like it should be in a mansion, innit? But it was just a normal house. And at the bottom of the staircase, there was a butler. Looked like a gollywog, and gollywog
None
face.
of them have that. Yeah, the old.
Just standing there with a tray.
Yeah, they have little toys.
Yeah,
toy little pieces as well.
But this was it was standing hold it. I was like,
I was like, look, that goes back to, I don't know that particular one, but they have different eras where they used to make a load of that, like mass produce that stuff.
How did they get onto like the tins of jars and stuff then?
Oh, that's gollywog. That's gollywog. It's kind of the same thing.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Imitation. Right, yeah, it is. If I had a picture now, I could show you the Moorish brooches. It's not. It doesn't look stupid. That's what I'm saying. Better blackers don't know this. Yeah, but all these people who are high up in that, they know exactly what Moor is. Look, I'll give you an example.
Little secret code.
I'll give you an example. Right, okay, maybe I'm showing my age a bit. Remember Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves?
Yeah.
The 90s film.
Kevin Costner team.
Yeah. You know Morgan Freeman?
Yeah.
He's a Moor in that film.
He's
one of the Moors, yeah? And if you watch that film, yeah, he's there's like this numerous scenes where like they're looking at some soldiers down the road, and he gets up binoculars, and then the other guys are like, what's that? And they're looking at, which craft is this? And he goes, nah, it's the Moors brought technology to Europe. Don't believe me, go and look it up. Yeah. They taught them certain things like, listen, you can wash more than once a year. It's not going to kill you. Like, do you know what I mean?
That's like what Black Panther. If you think about it, it's kind of a Black Panther.
Yeah.
Technology and stuff.
Even if you watch what's it called? What is it called? You know the film 300. Right, you know the baddie's called like Xerxes or something like that. I can't remember what chain. Yeah, with the chain. Yeah, right. If you watch it in parts of the film, there's a scene where he goes, Xerxes unleashed his technology of war, and it was all basically it was just bombs. Yeah. And they thought it was like wizardry. Like the Moors had all that type of technology, They brought naught, the number naught to Europe. Europe didn't have a symbol to show nothing.
Yeah.
They brought guitar, string. They brought bare things, yeah. And even if you see in Hollywood, even though Hollywood's a bunch of lies, every time they show a Moor on there, it's always a black person. Sidney Poitier played the Moor back in the Hollywood days, like in the '60s films as well. Like, because they know that's true. They know, yeah, you black. Don't get confused by them saying, oh, they're Arab or Middle East. Because that makes people automatically think of next man. Yeah. When it's like, no, Muslim is not race, it's a religion. So don't get confused by it. And if you go and look at all the pictures and photos, it's black men they're showing you, bro. Afro, lips, the whole nine. So,
Yeah, for real.
look it up.
Yeah. Even another one is what?
No,
some more education. Well, this is conversation as well. Why are the looted Ethiopian treasures still in Britain though?
See that's another thing. When they went at the wedding, I was literally like watching it like I was there, and I was thinking, I'm looking at all the black faces, and I'm feeling in my head, oh, what, we falling for this shit? These lot still owe us for shit, and we're standing here like going, oh yeah, this is good. No.
Finally in there.
Yeah, like and then other people look at me like, oh, why'd you have to talk about? What are you talking about? Someone robbed our yard 10 years ago, and then we're saying let's forget about it. And you just brought up an example, like the Ethiopia, the treasures have been stolen. So that's what's that prince's of Ethiopia. His family's jewellery had been stolen when England used to occupy and reign over them. They've admitted it.
Yeah.
So if we went to a court of law now and I stole your Rolex and I got caught for it, one, I'd be punished for it, but two, I have to give back your goods.
Yeah.
Side note, has he got a Rolex?
No. Well, as soon as he does, I'll let you know.
You got to borrow it.
Balloting.
I got an Apple Watch, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, but that's how it works. That's how law works. You have to return your goods. So, same with Egypt. Like, really, if you go British Museum, like some people call it, place of antiquities. As far as I can see, it's a place of stolen goods that you lot have done, stole man's things, and now it's in your little stash house.
Black Panther again.
Yeah.
But people are looking at me and rolling their eyes like, and it's
Rich
like,
again.
what? I'm the only killmonger around here. Like, come on.
Yeah, for real.
Come on.
For real. And also, when was it? I think it was June the 14th, the year anniversary of the Grenfell Tower.
Jeez.
Boy, still nothing's really solved.
No, man. It's
And
bullshit.
then they had the lights on the
I saw that.
with the green heart and stuff.
Oh, well
And
done.
listen,
Well
like,
done, they got a banner.
Exactly. Things like
Yeah,
that to me don't mean nothing.
exactly.
You got a
What's that
little
going to do?
banner.
Ain't
How much
changing
was that?
nothing.
How much was that banner?
Exactly.
$5.99.
More than the cladding that they could have put up.
Exactly.
For real. Even Kay was talking about a family friend or something like that.
So passed away then.
Yeah.
What's someone in your family?
A friend of the family still.
And that's, you know what I mean? That
What was the story
Sure.
though? It was like they went to visit.
Yeah. She got a son and daughter because they were fasting at the time. They invited them round. It just wasn't meant to be, innit? It was their time. God rest their souls. All the people that passed away there.
I don't even know no one in there, yeah, but it still affected me, and especially to see as well how many different ethnicities people it affects.
It's like things like that shouldn't happen in this country,
Should not be
innit?
happening,
Nowhere
man.
really, innit? But especially on your doorstep.
It should not be happening, and the place went up and look, that whole place got burnt down. Yeah. Sorry to change the subject quickly, but do you notice how the place didn't fall down, even though there was a massive fire in there? Yeah, but other buildings dropped down.
You know why? Because things that are made in the past, they're made with, like, it sounds stupid, but they're made with love, innit? See shit now, like all these...
It's just quick things.
quick.
Yeah, it's true.
Because
Because one day I was like, rah, like, even Houser, for instance.
Flat pack.
I've been there for
Yeah,
a while, I'll come back as a rah, shit, that's there.
Yeah.
Like, where the extra petrol station
Pop it
is.
up quick.
I was thinking,
Pop it
rah.
up quick.
Yeah,
Because
just
they're on
like
a
that.
time scale and
Yeah.
it's going to build it.
It's up.
And then when you move in, the place was lovely, and you move in, and the walls are so thin,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
end up hearing my man fucking next door. And you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
look, my man, you're shit, bro. I just hear your shit. Them ones, you know when the buildings are like that? When you go to the proper old school places.
Your game is not good.
Your game is rubbish, bro. You know when you come out in the morning, you're looking at man funny, like, you rubbish, bro. You know what I mean?
I did it. 1, 2, 3, and that was you. Rolled over. snoozing.
them-
That's that
yeah,
point, man.
yeah.
Because it's true that
But
burnt
it's like
to a
with love,
crisp,
innit?
but
Yep. But they're still strong.
the
it's
foundation's
saying
there.
The foundation's there.
there.
That place, and then they're putting this rubbish cladding on, and then it's burning people down, and then basically that's murder. Because I know and if you go into their finances and their business, they would have seen already that that's cheaper. It could be more dangerous. Don't worry, just put it up for now. We just cover that because we want it to look cosmetically beautiful because we've got these contracts for these buildings around.
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
Yeah.
Well, I work for
Think
a
about it.
company. I work for a company that they provide the flooring for these new developments, innit? Yeah. If there's any snags whatsoever, and this is just fucking flooring, bruv. So think about if it's shit it's outside the building, it's gonna be seen by everybody.
By the public.
Any little snags, you're getting emails. Yeah, can you fix this? Oh, the little corner of where the fucking skirting is, it's a bit chipped. Like they're pulling you up on it. So this shit would have gone through bare hands.
And brushed under the carpet.
People brush it over because there's bigger money at stake, and these people, it's not now.
But it's not across the road where the rich houses are. So they're like,
yeah, it's true.
But I did hear some guy actually, who's either a reporter or something like that, 6 months or 8 months just before, he did put out an article saying the stuff that they're putting up is dangerous.
Oh, is it?
And it's been documented, but they were like,
who are you? Like,
Who are
who are you to tell us?
What leverage have you got?
Exactly, you're a
brush
reporter.
that off. But now you've got murder on your hands, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
But like Dave said, they should all go to prison under all the joint enterprise, bruv. Because if you was with somebody, if you was with somebody that killed someone,
then joint enterprise, all
going down.
You're all going down. So why are these people not going down for killing bare people?
Exactly.
72 or however many they say it was. Like I know now they're saying it's because that everything was charged so badly they can't even identify. They can't identify nobody else. So they're just saying it's 72 that they could identify.
Well, that's rubbish, isn't it?
Because you know how much in the building. Do the statistics.
Not even that. Listen, I done watch enough fucking Miss Marple and CSI to know you can just get someone's dental records, innit, and find the So don't lie to me like that. Like, you know what I mean? It's like come on, it's rubbish.
For real.
Yeah, because when they want to catch you for something,
they find you.
They go proper forensic.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, and they'll tell you everything, and they'll show you the camera there, and your mate who they've just interrogated to grass you up. So,
Trust me.
for real.
You know what I mean? Exactly. You know them ones.
That's been washed bare bleach, everything.
That's still there though. Raid your house and they say we found a sock and had some evidence on there. It's like raw.
They'll catch you.
For real.
Burn your thing, yeah. Trust me.